All right, we are now live. Welcome everybody to the House of Horrors. Tonight we got to guest Jay Crimson. How are you tonight?
Hey, how's it going?
And Miss Boomstick as always. So how you
Yeah.
guys week been?
Uh, it's been decent. Uh, just a little nerve wracking because I got to get my car looked at and shit like that. But you know,
Oh, that always sucks.
yeah.
It's like damn vehicles that can't live without them.
Uh-huh.
So
Garbage.
yeah, hate when that happens.
Yep.
So So yeah, we are also, as we're saying, going to dual live on Facebook also. So anyone on Facebook, if they give it permission, like you can still comment, but it'll say Facebook user. So anyone who's watching from Facebook, just hit the permission or whatever to leave the comment, so we know who you are. Or you could be a mystery person, whatever.
Right. Yeah. If you don't want your name shown, then
Just be Mysterion, or like from South Park. So,
Oh yeah.
uh,
Legendary.
Okay, so we got Boogeyman Studios here. So watching from Facebook. So,
sorry,
Sweet.
I didn't mean for it to echo. That's my bad.
well, he's not here yet. Gotta wait for Echo. Echo. Oh, I'm sure he'll probably show up tonight.
I had the sound off, but when I clicked it to expand it to keep an eye on it, it turned the sound back on on me. So
Whoops. Yeah,
my bad.
that's all right. All right. All right. So let's see, and then we got another mystery man there, unless that's Boogeyman Studios just making another comment. I don't know, but either way, welcome everybody, and thanks for everyone who's tuning in. So let's go ahead and start. Why don't you tell us a little about yourself, where you grew up, and what got you into directing and music, who your inspiration was.
Well, I'm Jay Crimson, 39. I was born in 83. Grew up in St. Clair, Michigan, St. Clair County. Um, Pretty boring town. Kind of town that makes you want to go out and commit crimes and cause trouble for the establishment, like a good punk child. Um, yeah, so that, listening to metal, I've always gotten into heavy music, always wanted to start a band. Um, did a couple cover bands in the beginning, practicing other band songs. I always wanted to come up with something original. I didn't care much for playing other bands' music. It's just not my thing. But it's weird how much that takes off in the local bar scene. People eat that stuff up. I don't know. I don't get it. But yeah, movies. John Carpenter's Halloween. First seen that, knew that I wanted to get on board with that whole, giving people, visualizations like shadows and just the dark imagery. I think he did really good with the shadow work and stuff like that. And it stuff like that really influenced me to make creepy, eerie stuff, and that's when I started with a Sony Handycam. It was like the first cameras that came out with the flip open so you could see what you're filming.
I remember those. Yeah.
Yeah, you remember them. They were ghetto. Um, but yeah, you could hear the tape roll in Green Hell. If you watch it, you can hear the tape going. It's like, oh, just cover that up with some music. Um,
Right.
but sometimes when you have stuff like that, it forces you to create something even more clever. But yeah, John Carpenter, big influence for me in movies. The Thing, Prince of Darkness, not just Halloween. He made some other awesome stuff. And
Yeah.
Sam Raimi, Evil Dead, just huge influence on me with practical effects and stuff like that. I
Love
was
seeing.
always a big fan.
Oh yeah. Gotta love the Evil Dead. You can't go wrong there.
I
Evil
like
Dead's
all of them.
obviously my shit. If you can't tell by my name.
Miss Boomstick. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Uh, I still need to play the video game. Still haven't played it yet. Eventually, I will. But
I just got it on PlayStation because it's free this month if you have PlayStation Plus, but I haven't played it yet. I didn't have time to play this week.
There was a really good Evil Dead game for it was you had this little guy, little zombie friend named Sam, and you could kick him. Do you remember that one?
The only other game I had, because I know there was multiple ones, but the only other game I had was Fistful Boomstick, but I didn't really play it a lot.
Okay, now you can echo boom. Echo's here. Go. What's going on, everybody? And Heroic Waffles is also here.
Nice.
So in school, did you do any like TV productions or band or anything?
No, I was kind of the loner type. I didn't really fit in school. It was a lot of jock stuff going on, and for me at the time, it just wasn't in the cards. It wasn't my thing. It's not what I was ambitious for, if that makes sense. I was kind of like goth meets grunge, so that was kind of my thing. I was like
a
wear
groth.
wear a flannel with a Metallica shirt on, back in the early '90s.
I think almost everybody did that. I know I had the flannels and stuff in the 90s.
Not that Metallica makes you a goth, but I was like the metalhead with the flannel on,
Right.
Yeah, it didn't fit in. That's why I always wanted to film stuff. Most of the kids in my town, in younger grade school and middle school and whatnot, even high school, mostly sports and stuff like that. And my bass player played football. It was cool, worked out for him. Just wasn't my thing. I always wanted to create things and be, mischievous and stuff like that. And I'm glad I got something to focus on in my adult years, because I'd probably be in prison or locked away forever,
When you started your band, how old were you, and when did you start playing instruments? Was that something, since you said that was pretty much a loader, you said, or listen to music? Did you like play a lot?
I met a few local artists, some of my peers in school. We hung out, started a band called Monster Zero, because I loved the Godzilla movies, and we later changed the name to Army of Noise because I thought it suited us better. But
is this like a park and recreations thing where he keeps changing the name of the band?
Probably, yeah. Back then, yeah, it was a different time, that's for sure. High school, yeah, for some reason, I was so stuck on nu metal, the genre nu metal. Like, that was my thing in high school. I loved that they were mixing hip hop with metal. Not so much Limp Bizkit, even though I did really like Limp Bizkit back then. Who admits this shit, right? But,
I think we all listened to Limp Bizkit back then.
Well, not me. I'm not really into that type of music, but to be fair, because it seems like you like this genre. If you know Mudvayne, they come from my hometown area.
Yeah, I love Mudvayne.
But yeah, they come from Central Illinois, the Peoria, Pekin area where I come from. I don't know any of them, but I just know that that's where they started.
Yeah, I've seen them a few times. I like them a lot. Big influence on me as a musician too. Yeah.
So now, for people who don't know, do you play or sing, or what's your part in the band?
So I can play some instruments. I play drums right now in a stoner doom band called the Candle Burners, with Bruce Keefe, great guitar player. He's going to be 70 years old soon. He's rocking. He played in some cover bands. He played in the Billy Wolf band, some bands from around here, and just great guitar player. And him and my bass player for No Class Assassins plays in the Candle Burners too. So it's just us three. Right now we're kind of instrumental, but we're going to add some vocals and probably record something for sure. Hopefully this year, if not next year. Okay. My two main bands, I'd say, No Class Assassins. We started a calling ourselves No Class Assassins, and I joined the band. It was called A Parable for Destruction at the time, AP4D. But then we changed the band name once I joined, and started playing shows and stuff like that under the name No Class Assassins. And the name is from the Lucky Number 11 movie, where Bruce Willis says, "I'm a world-class assassin, fuckhead."
Oh, that's right.
And we're like, we're not world-class assassins. We're no-class assassins. So that's where that came from. And played a bunch of shows. Opened up for a lot of good bands. In my opinion, we were pretty picky about it all. And I started up a new hardcore punk band called Chemical Valley Mutants with Stephen Defoe and Aaron Coates of Mortal Disguise, and Dan Ganem plays drums, and he's from Black River and Watchmen Upstairs from Port Huron, more hardcore, like two-step hardcore, Hatebreed, Judge, stuff like that, if you guys have ever heard of those bands. And yeah, hopefully we're gonna probably blow up soon when it comes to writing. We've been writing a lot. We're looking forward to recording. So we're just writing some songs, getting a set down. But No Class is kind of on a little break right now. Guitar player health, and just when COVID hit, it was just like big bam, right to the face. We got signed to a record label in 2019, Hellfire Records out of Lansing, Michigan. Wormfoot, Omnis, Jay Goldsmith. Those are some names from the Hellfire Records and the bands. Great bands, like death metal, doom, punk, I guess you could say. Kind of like crust punkish, real fast.
Nice. And then you have some of your, I don't know how many of them there was exactly, but you have some of your like music videos, I guess you call it, on your YouTube page, which I've posted the link in the chat if anybody wants to check it out.
Yeah, we made a music video for our song Depression, My Compulsive Ways, with the guy who shot that music video, Justin Squires. He works at Dark Forest Media, and he helped me edit Green Hell. His music is in my two short films, The Witch and Crickets in the Snow, and he is currently working with me to edit my newest movie project titled
Nice.
Lilith.
Lilith? Nice.
Yeah.
Is it about the demon Lilith or?
Ooh, Lilith is going to be something. It's about the demon. It's going to be my shocker. I'm either going to have less friends or more friends, and because this is
It's the next Human Centipede. You either fucking hate it or you love it.
Ooh, that's an interesting. I totally forgot about other shocking movies that have shocked people. Like I know Terrifier 2 last year was a big one. I went and seen that, and I was like, yes.
They totally topped the first one. So,
yes, they did.
So
Yeah.
supposedly he wants to do 4 of them, so we'll see how he wants to end it at 4. So that should be really good to see what Damien's got planned next.
Yeah, I heard that. I did a podcast with David Howard Thornton.
Yeah, I saw that going through it. So yeah, he's hilarious. Oh my gosh, he's such a good guy to talk
we
to.
did too, but it was before Terrifier 2 came out. But he's
Same here.
So funny.
Same here, actually. They were in the middle of filming it, or it was done, but it was during COVID and the pandemic and all that. So yeah.
Interesting.
So don't know who that is, but Facebook user there.
Sam Hammer got me.
I read that wrong and I thought it said hamster.
Hamster bit me.
I was confused for a minute. I was like, what? How did you get in a fight with a hamster?
Well, you can only hear that Richard Gere and hamster story so many times.
I don't know
Hopefully
if they
you gotta
want their
give it a
name
shot.
known, but their last name was McPhee. I won't give first name just in case they want to be
Mhm.
somewhat anonymous since they didn't crack access. But in
Nice.
case you know anybody by the last name, McAfee. I might even be pronouncing it wrong because I'm horrible with names. So I apologize, person, if I pronounced your name wrong.
Yeah, I smoke too much weed to remember last names.
I am horrible with pronunciation, but I don't want to put their name out there if they don't want it. So I just want to kind of just do the least of it as possible.
Lilith, though, the movie, I have some interesting cameos in it too. I haven't really told many podcasts of this, but there's 2 cameos in this movie. I don't know if either of you know much about deathmatch wrestling.
Not really, no.
No, like the hardcore, like Japanese influenced thumbtacks, barbed wire, fire, stuff like that.
Oh, kind of like what Mick Foley used to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I only know of it because of Mick Foley, to be honest. I've never watched it, but
he's a good reason for knowing it. Yeah, I love Mick Foley.
I used to love WW. Oh, it was WWF when I watched it, but I used to watch that all the time. So I know some of the older wrestlers, none of the new people, but some of the old ones.
Right. So, yeah, there's a deathmatch wrestler, female, named Mickey Knuckles. She is actually a guest cameo in this movie, Lilith, and Ari Lehman, who is the very first Jason Voorhees in the first Friday the 13th movie. He was the one that pops up behind her in the canoe or the boat in the lake.
And he's also got his band, First Jason. So, yeah.
Yep, that's kind of what this is. I kind of wanted him to do a fake ad, even though it's a real ad now, but when it comes out, it will be like a faux ad for his band in my movie. So that's what I had him do, and it's going to be sweet. And he kind of interacts with my main character subliminally. So I like to put in little sneaky stuff in the background. That's something I noticed John Carpenter would do in his movies with the shadows in the background, like the camera would pan and you'd go, wait, Michael was back there. Or, there was a shadowy figure in the background. And I like stuff like that. Little hints, little Easter egg type shit. Ooh.
Easter eggs are always fun spotting it out. Yeah.
Big fan.
Yeah, most definitely. Because the audience, especially if they recognize it, they get all excited. It's like, oh, I see that.
Right. This movie it's harsh but pretty. It's artistic but graphic. I wanted to make a psychedelic horror film that was hard to watch, and that's kind of what this is. There'll be parts that will be, okay, this is cool. I like that. And then I'll force you to watch something you didn't want to see. That's kind of what this is.
It's like Clockwork Orange. We'll be like, have our eyes open to watch it.
Not another J. Crimson movie.
Speaking of that, I know it's at least out of 2 of your movies, you really like going for the eyes. Is that something like kind of a technique you want to keep with going with the eyes?
Ooh, yeah, the eyes. That's a good one. Eyes or teeth. Ugh. Yeah, it freaks me out.
True.
Well, no one likes a toothache, but no one wants their fucking eye pulled out either.
Yeah. I mean, I know I can't think of the movies offhand, but I know I've seen movies where they just pull out all their teeth. It's like, ooh, that's
dentist.
Well, the dentist is one, yes.
Good old Corbin Bernstein, or Bernson, whatever his name was, from I think he was in Major League.
Sapphire says, well, I'm excited to see the new movie. Sounds interesting. Hi, Jay.
Nice. Hello. Thanks for tuning in.
I said that was the last name. Since they didn't grant access, I don't want to use full name, but that's their last name.
Nice. It's probably better off because I'm such a stoner. You'll tell me their last name, and I'll be like, oh, okay. It turns out to be my damn cousin. Yeah, that's J. Crimson in a nutshell.
Or it's like Dane Cook, there was this whole skit where he comes up, this guy comes up to me, he's like, yo, Dane, DC, man, how are you? And in my head, I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? So I just threw out the, you, how you doing? I'm good.
I remember that. And then he tells him he'll be at the party and all that.
Somebody shit on the coats. But you'll know.
You'll know, yep.
You'll know.
That was a good skit, actually. I like that.
The thing with him, like, sometimes it's funny, and then sometimes it's just long, drawn-out stories, like, okay. It's like a hit or miss with him. But,
you guys ever see the movie Spun?
Yeah.
I don't think I have.
Not Spawn, Spun.
Oh, Spun. Why does that sound familiar? Which one was that now?
Spun. It had John Leguizamo, was like a tweaker, played a meth head, I think, in that movie, and Brittany Murphy played his girlfriend, and Mickey Rourke was like a cowboy drug dealer guy. And
oh, okay. I sort of remember. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but
the guy who did Jonas Ackerland, I think his name was, he did like the Ray of Light music video from Madonna, and a lot of the weird motion fast stuff up close, like you're right in the friggin' straw, you snorting coke in, you know, stuff like that's cool to me. I like the force you to watch something that you didn't think you were going to see. Very visceral and intense.
Bringing up one of your shorts, don't really want to go too much into it. We got the link for people to watch. But The Witch, kind of like a silent episode. What was the inspiration for that?
Ooh, The Witch.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. That was influenced by like me liking black and white old school films. It kind of came off like a college art film, but I wanted to make a silent movie that was just led with audio, and I think I did that. Some people thought it was pretty cool. I wanted to make something longer, of course. Like, I've been wanting to have a full-length movie, and it's looking like Lilith might actually be my first full-length movie, but I'm not sure yet. It could end up being like a longer short film. But I would prefer it to be my first full-length. Sometimes, you know, you just got to go with what's better for the story instead of just throwing in bullshit.
Yeah. You can lose your audience by just throwing in random shit.
Even if it is something cool, they'll be like, what? Why did you just show a severed head? But yeah, that's influencing from like old Frankenstein, any of those movies that have that grit to it, and the pops in the background, cigarette burns, stuff like that. I really like that aesthetic. You ever see that movie? It's about witchcraft. It was like one of the first horror movies ever. Haxan.
I don't believe so.
Haxan, Witchcraft Through the Ages. It's a good one. It's kind of where they got the inspiration for Tonight Tonight, the Smashing Pumpkins music video with the moon.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good one. Check it out. That's a good thing to see. It's up on YouTube, I believe. At least it was for years. I would always check it out every like October because it's pretty creepy.
Haxan?
Haxan, yeah.
Haxan, okay.
Haxan, I believe.
Nice.
Subtitles called Witchcraft Through the Ages.
Okay, Witchcraft Through the Ages. I'll be sure to check that out.
In Green Hell, how did you get your people so green?
It's funny because that was during the drunken days. So some things are a little foggy on what I used and when, but I'm pretty sure that was actually a combination of one of the girls that were around, her eyeshadow and a green Crayola marker. You know how you would take the thing out of the inside? It was like this big, and you could like cut it and just rub it on something. I would just rub it on someone's face. I'm pretty sure that's how we did that for Green Hell.
sounds a little bit more permanent where you couldn't wash it off quick to like go to the store. So you're like walking around green.
Yeah, you would have to use hot water and detergent for that sound.
It's like when the shoot's over, just go to the store. Oh shit, I forgot to get the green off my face.
Damn you, Jay! Catch me
I was
real
thinking like
bad.
food coloring or something.
That's what I was gonna say,
It
food
was going to
coloring.
be a more permanent.
Gonna need some Brillo pads. Scour.
Just peel the skin off. It's all right.
It'll
Whatever.
have to be a fact. We'll film some behind the scenes shit.
Oh, that's funny.
What are your guys' favorite movies?
Oh gosh, so many.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm big into the Evil Dead, obviously. And then I also really like shark movies. So I'm kind of like shark obsessed.
Mhm.
Like Sharknado?
Yes, I love those movies. The more ridiculous, the better. But like real life, like kind of more realistic shark movies, and the really ridiculous ones like Sharknado.
Nice. Isn't Chris Jericho in that movie?
Probably there's so many of them,
There's so
and
many
there's so
cameos.
many cameos in it. I don't remember, but probably he's probably at least in one.
I know he's in Terrifier 2 at the end after the credits or something. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
there with the
actually a
doctor.
really big horror fan because he was. I don't know if you know who Joe Bob Briggs is, but he was on the last drive-in with Joe Bob, and he was on one of the shows where they did Blood Sucking Freaks. He also does a band as well. I forget the name of it, but he did a song on there about blood sucking freaks, which is an
Oh, yeah.
interesting movie.
Nice.
Well, of course, I like the Terrifier movies. All the classics, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street,
yeah.
I say all this. Any Stephen King movie.
Me too.
Except Langoliers. That is like the bottom of my list. That was the one
Right.
where
Gotta go for the cheese though.
what it reminded me was like
long
Pac-Man,
and more.
at the end, the effects of it looked like Pac-Man was eating them. Like little Pac-Mans like going after a ghost. That's what it looked like.
McDonald said, "What up, Jay? Just saw notice."
Oh, I see. Yeah, I invited some people just to.
Oh yeah, no problem. More the merrier.
For sure.
Let's see. Have y'all seen?
Have y'all
Iron Man?
seen I Madman?
Ooh, I Madman. Yeah.
I
Good
need to
80s
watch that.
slasher. 80s
I haven't heard
slasher.
of that one. I don't think.
I've heard of it. I think on the cover he's like got an axe or something on the cover.
Yeah, all like
Yeah. I still need to see that one.
I'm pretty sure in that movie somebody is looking. One of the best kills is someone's looking under the hood of a car, like, "Come on, you piece of shit!" And like he's on the hood, and then he jumps down on the, or no, he's on the top of the car and jumps down on the hood, and the guy's head gets cut off. That was awesome.
Can't go wrong with a good decapitation.
No, one of my favorites too is the scene in Maniac. You ever see Maniac?
I was just thinking Maniac, actually. Yeah, Maniac.
Not the Elijah Wood remake.
No, the original.
Yeah, the
original.
Yeah, he comes out in front and shoots that guy's head, and it was Tom Savini. Kadoosh!
Blows it up. Yep. When you were talking about the car, I was kind of thinking Maniac. I'm like, kind of reminds me of like a Maniac scene.
Yeah. Another
Gamble.
good one, X, the movie X.
I haven't watched that yet. No, that's
No,
like
I haven't seen that one yet.
that's
either.
X and then Pearl, and then they're doing another one after that. It's like a 3.
Yep. Like a trilogy.
I need to watch those. Everybody's been talking about them. So.
Yeah, Ty West is a really decent director, I think. I like his work. He did that You're Next with the masks.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love Your Next.
Yeah.
Right on.
Hi, Max. Gamble says Crimson with a heart, black heart,
Okay, why would it be a red one?
and red ones are not allowed in the horror. They're a no. Black
The
hearts.
only thing in horror with red is red blood drops.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes that is not necessary.
So what are your guys' favorite music genres?
I didn't quite hear the question. I'm sorry.
What types of music genres are you guys into?
Oh, music genres. I'm kind of all over the place, but the only thing I don't really listen to is country, and I don't really like super heavy metal. Like, I just, other than that, I listen to pretty much everything.
Is the reason you don't listen to like super death metal is because of the vocals?
I just can't understand them, and it just sounds like they're screaming, and I just, like, it's not, I want to be able to somewhat at least understand it, but yeah, it feels like they're screaming at me, and it's not my thing.
Oh yeah, they're screaming at you, all right.
Right, yeah. Just like, I don't. I do listen to Rob Zombie, but I don't really consider him death metal. He's kind of hard. I do like alternative stuff, like Nirvana and stuff like that. Because all that came out when I was a teenager.
I'm a big Deftones guy. Love Deftones.
Nice.
Yep. I pretty much listen to whatever, but I mean, I'm more a movie and TV show person than music person, but I mean, whatever. Whatever in the mood for, so let's see, just saw a question here a second ago. There we go. Who's your favorite interview that you've done?
Ooh, my favorite interview I've done. Oh, I'm not sure. I don't think I've done enough. I haven't done enough to know, unless they're referring to my podcast show. Because if they're referring to the Crimson Cult podcast, ooh, that's a tricky one. Because I interviewed CJ Graham. He played Jason Voorhees in Friday the 13th 6.
Jason Lives, yep.
And I loved that one. That was a good one. That was like a good redeeming quality after part 5.
Yeah, for sure.
Part 5 wasn't bad. Like now, it's kind of like Metallica's Load album. It's okay now, but but then when it came out, then I was like, why Metallica? Why? It was way too soft. But Hero of the Day, good song.
Right. Do you consider Lovecraft horror or suspense?
Ooh, Lovecraft, I would say horror. Well, it's both.
It's suspenseful horror.
You're gonna get suspense and horror because that's one comes from the other, in my opinion. But horror, I would say horror because there's creatures, and there's the Cthulhu and stuff like that he uses a lot of. His ideas come from mythological creatures and stuff like that. So I would say horror, even though I think that person might disagree with me.
That's why they asked.
That's why he asked.
Yeah. Tried to be sneaky on us.
Yep. Actually, his nickname is Lovecraft. Richard McDonald.
Nice.
Yep. He used to come into Speedy Q when I worked at Speedy Q and talk to me about bands and movies with his Lovecraft shirt. What? That's kind of cool. I heard that there's a WWE commentator, Corey Graves. He used to be a bodyguard for the Deftones. And he's on TV all the time.
For your podcast, since that was Rob, I got a question. When did you start doing podcasts, and what made you decide to start doing those?
I started probably around this time in 2020. No, maybe a little bit later in 2020. Yeah, it was a little bit later. I think it was in October, actually. Not sure. But I started because just I always wanted to ask certain questions, or when I was on a show, or when I was listening to someone else's show, I'd be like, ask this, why aren't you asking this? But I understand more about it all now, depending on who you're talking to, who you're interviewing, certain things. Like some certain people, like it's like if I interviewed Jerry Cantrell, I wouldn't want to talk about Alice in Chains the whole time or Lane Staley the whole time. You know what I mean? It would just bum him out. So,
I haven't
yeah,
been to very many concerts by Alice in Chains, because Alice in Chains is like my all-time favorite band.
there you go. Me too.
And I went and seen them in concert once, and they were so amazing. Absolutely loved it. I haven't been to very many, but I was be sure to go to that one.
What year?
Oh God, wasn't really that long ago. I'd say approximately 10 years, maybe 8 to 10 years ago.
Nice.
Ish.
I wish I would have seen him with Lane. Same with Nirvana. That would have been
Yeah.
awesome. Always wanted to see that. Everyone always asks that question, but I always get a kick out of it. Like, who would you go and see, or who, what band, living or dead,
I'd probably 100% go to another Alice in Chains concert, because I had a blast. I went by myself, but I had a blast.
I would go see the original White Zombie.
Yeah.
Let's see. Just to see if there's anything else in the chats
I'm
besides
looking forward to the new Batman, the Batman 2.
Batman 2.
Meeting Batman?
No, they're going to make a sequel to the one with Robert Pattinson.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you was looking forward to meeting Batman. I totally misunderstood you. I was like, you're meeting Batman. What?
Am I low? Am I too low? Should I talk louder?
It's probably just me, because my son was walking upstairs, and so I had like an echo of stairs in my ear.
It's cool.
Oh, it's like, yeah, what is it? The Flash that's coming out. It's like, I want to see the Michael Keaton Batman, but him as the Flash is like, I don't care about him after all the stuff that he's done. It's like,
Right?
it sucks. It's like all the shit that he's done, but Michael Keaton is in the movie. It's like, that's the only reason
It's
why
like
I
that meme I shared the other day. Something's like, Ezra should be in jail, but it's like, it's not fair they're giving us Michael Keaton in that movie.
Right.
But it is what it is.
Yeah. That's for sure.
We can forgive kidnapping. Just get Michael
Yeah,
Keaton.
it's all right. And then assaulting people and stuff, and then
Right, yeah.
whatever.
Just
Yeah,
name a few.
I don't even remember what all the other weird shit he's done, but he's just.
They done, yeah. It's
Yeah,
they.
what a weirdo.
Oh yeah, it's they now. I forgot. So, got to get the pronouns right now. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
It is an interesting time.
have you, besides the Lilith, did you have plans to make any more shorter films, or you want to continue with making longer ones like Lilith?
When I first started, like when I was on, movie 2 or 3, or just messing with something, I was thinking that too. I was thinking maybe I just want to make shorts and never make a full length, but I feel like in the realm of horror director movies and stuff like that, I feel like you only get a certain amount of credit. That's why I wanted to go all out and make a full length movie, just to be taken a bit more seriously, perhaps. But yeah, there was a while there where I thought it'd be cool to make like 10 short films that are like maybe 10 minutes long and have them all connect, and then release them like a piece at a time.
Or you could put them all together and be an anthology.
That's what I was just about to say. Be like making an anthology.
Right.
Yeah.
You could also do that at the end when they're all done being released. Kind of that's what they do with like web series. And then they put them all together. I always thought that'd be pretty sweet too. And my guitar player for No Class Assassins, Dave Kelsey, he has always had a lot of cool ideas too when it comes to like a web series and stuff like that, and coming up with something really cool. Yeah, and I would love to work with him on that too. There's really good ideas.
Yeah, I've been wanting to make some sort of short, but I've been stuck on what I can do because I'm kind of limited at what I can do. And it's like I kind of made one for Halloween, but it had no story plot. It was just a bunch of random kind of shit going on. I think it was less than a minute, but still, I made something. I was proud of it till people started crapping on it.
Right. You're limited on what you can do. That made me think of what I'm doing currently for Lilith. Have you ever heard of the website Fiverr?
Yeah.
So I went on Fiverr and I paid some artists to come up with some concepts. So in Lilith, it's not just live action. There's stop animation, stop motion, claymation, and some puppet work in there too, and shadow play, stuff like that. So I really wanted to do something different. And this movie it's probably going to come off like a underground, whacked Alice in Wonderland type of movie.
Sorry if you can hear my cat. I'm sorry. He just started screaming for some reason. I don't know if my mic picked it up. That's why I was kind of like laughing because he just started screaming.
Oh,
I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing at my cat. Just so everybody's clear.
Likes the movie idea, like the cat in Alice in Wonderland.
Right?
Nobody's
paying attention to him. He's not taking it well.
Nice. Cats.
Right.
Oh yeah, we heard the cat.
Meow. It's the when it's hungry, the meow makes a way. Meow, 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 meow.
Yep.
All pets are welcome.
He was over here pestering me a little bit ago, and I knew once my son went upstairs because he left me to go to him, and then he went upstairs, so he just started hollering after that.
So on any future podcasts, who would you like to get on to interview?
Ooh, good one. Future podcasts. That's kind of on a little break too, but I'm gonna pick it up again soon. Let's see. I would like to have Linda Blair.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I messaged Linda Blair's agent, and he messaged me back, and she was busy. She was in the middle of doing some sort of promotion for something extra she's involved in, like aside from films and stuff. Because I don't think she does many movies anymore. But yeah, I would like to talk to her about, the obvious. The Exorcist.
Right.
I'd like to get Robert Englund.
Mm-hmm.
Looking around my room, I got all these decorations on my wall. Glenn Danzig, that would be a good one.
Yeah, Danzig would be good. He was, music and in movies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I still need. Well, I'm a big fan of the band I Hate God, and the singer of that band, Mike Nine Williams. He's a big influence on me as a artist, so I would pick him. I talk to him too once in a while. It's interesting because he's kind of like the type, so it's kind of funny because he'll mess with me when I see him. I'll go see the band play at like the Sanctuary in Detroit or Hamtramck, same thing, and he'll be like, "What up, Crimson?" And I'm like, "How are you?" He's like, "What are you promoting tonight?" I don't know. I'm not promoting nothing, man. I came to see your band.
But yeah, while I'm here, I got
Yeah. Say something cool for the phone.
Nothing, but I got a couple questions. We're just behind the question.
Right, that's me.
No, at each show, ask them one question. So let's go and then just edit it all together as like an interview for the podcast.
Right.
Gorilla type podcast.
Ooh, that reminds me, the gorilla. the guerrilla shows that they used to do, the punk rock bands and grind crust bands and stuff, play in laundromats, and then hurry up and get the hell out of there. Or I always wanted to do that, like go to like say a big show, a festival or something, and grab as much portable gear as you can with the smallest drum set possible. You know, hurry up, set up in the parking lot of the concert, play a couple songs, give some people your CDs, and get the hell out of there. That would be sweet.
That's funny.
It
So,
is an interesting way to promote yourself.
Right.
what other shows have you been to lately that you like going to?
Ooh, let's see. I seen a band called Bongzilla. And they're like
Sorry. I wasn't expecting that name to come out.
Bongzilla. Bongzilla. They were at the Sanctuary as well. I love going there in Hamtramck. Good venue. Shows. Bongzilla. I seen I Hate God. I seen Escuela Grind. They're from Massachusetts. I don't know. I need to go to more. The next show is probably going to be Goatcore.
Okay.
Good
Haven't
band.
heard of any of them, but all right.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Some of them sound interesting by name alone, but it
But,
also
like
sounds like it's probably
Bongzilla.
not my type of music either.
Right. Oh, I seen Guar and Napalm Death.
Oh, nice.
Those were good.
I've never seen Gore live, but I've met, well, before he passed, of course, Dave Brocky. So
Oh, yeah.
he was cool. I actually got a picture with him as just normal Dave, and then in the Odorous outfit. He was with Adam Green. I don't know if you ever watched that show that was on Holliston. They did 2 seasons. Dee Snider was their boss at the TV station, and Kane
Oh,
Hodder-
yeah.
yeah. Good night, Holliston. Yeah. And
I
they did
definitely heard about it. I don't remember any episodes in particular. Remember does Henry Rollins still do his show?
Henry. I don't
I don't know.
know.
What was it called? I don't remember.
I think it was called the Henry Rollins Show.
The Henry Rollins Show. What's it called? The Henry Rollins Show? Yeah,
I
what's it
don't
called?
think so, but I will look.
Don't
Well,
turn this
good
into
show.
an Abbott and Costello routine.
Right. Who?
What was it? It wasn't Abbott and Costello. I can't remember who it was, but he goes, call me a cab. All right, you're a cab. Oh, nice mask. Is that from Lilith?
Yeah, this gets used in Lilith. This is a prop for the one of the kill scenes.
Oh, nice.
Right. It's got a blood pump in the back. Blood shoots out the eyes.
According to this, it says Henry Rollins Show was a TV series from 2006 to 2007, so I guess it's not going on anymore. But it also says there's 3 seasons, and apparently it's on Peacock, maybe?
No shit.
Peacock app. I don't know if that's correct because it's kind of giving me different answers, but it might be on Peacock. We'll say that. I don't want to confirm it, but
Sweet, I'm gonna have to check it out. There's some I haven't seen.
seen Gwar and Clutch more than any besides God is Stoned, says Sapphire.
Nah, I was the drummer of that band. So that whoever it was is a smart ass.
Oh, okay. I was just reading.
I detect it. I can sense it. God is stoned. Yeah, that had I was the drummer in that band. That was actually one of the first things I ever did. Well, one of the first serious bands I was in. And I was in that band with everyone from No Class Assassins. We just played different instruments. I realized I'd be a better vocalist. We had a drummer for No Class. We had a few. That's probably going to be the revolving door spot of the band as the drummer. Unfortunately, that just seems to happen with No Class Assassins. But yeah, Dave, the guitar player in No Class, played bass and got it stoned, and Chris, the bass player of No Class Assassins, was the singer. I'm the singer in No Class, and I played the drums in that band. And then our buddy Mark Schmidt grew up putting various liquids in a super soaker and shooting them at random cars. Tales of a misspent youth.
Sounds fun.
Oh, it was a blast.
So,
Sorry, I was helping somebody with the link, so I was paying attention to that. I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm kind of like watching 3 different chats. I am paying attention, I swear. I know it looks like I'm like all over the place, but
it looks like
I'm
it's
like
so-
switching between tabs, making sure everybody's doing okay, because not everything comes in like the chat I can see on the screen, so I'm always having to like jump. So I do pay attention, I swear.
She's just zoning out.
Right.
It's like, no, I'm looking at the chats, I swear.
But yeah, I'm just going everywhere, making sure everything's running smoothly everywhere.
Here's a little question, a little blast from the past. Since you always been in the horror, how were your Halloweens? Did you ever make your own costumes or anything? Or
You know, one year I had a controversial costume. I thought I was getting a little too old for trick-or-treating, and it was like the last couple years. So I had an old army outfit and dressed up like an army guy. But I'm like, I got to do something else. So I had him have a slit throat. And walking around and with all the other young kids in my town as a soldier with a slit throat. Yeah, it was interesting. But guess what, people? That happens.
True.
yeah,
I was expecting a little bit more controversial than that, but that's good.
Right. But,
When you said controversial,
I
I
know
was
it's like,
"Uh-oh."
ooh, do tell. Oh, okay.
yeah, I guess it wasn't as controversial as I thought it was. But
Right.
maybe
Well,
when
it
I
could
was
have been
12,
in your town too. It's just we're desensitized.
Yeah.
True. And I was 12 or 13.
True.
Oh, okay.
That
there
is
you go.
true.
What kind of parents let their 12-year-old slit their own throat?
Right.
I was just talking about I don't know if it would really be controversial, but it was talking about when I went to high school, I had 2 cousins that were in the year behind me, and one of them, they just quit letting people dress up for Halloween. And I forget what year it was, but it was late 90s. And it was at high school. I don't remember if it was my senior or sophomore year, or junior or senior year, excuse me. And so I decided I was going to protest. So I put a black wig on. I've always had long hair. You can't really tell it now because I got it up. But I had a long black wig on. I had black makeup on, black lipstick. We're sitting in the cafeteria, and my cousin took my lipstick, and he drew something on my face. I don't know what it was because I never got to see it. I got up, I was heading to the bathroom, and I got caught and put in the principal's office, and I got in trouble for it. And I never did find out, but I didn't give him up. I was like, no, I don't know the name of the person. He denies it now, says it never happened. I won't let him gaslight me. I got in trouble for his ass. I don't know if that's controversial, but I had some sort of random. I'm thinking it was probably perverted, but I don't know. It could have been demonic, perverted, God knows what.
So, did either of you watch Green Hell?
Green Hell, yeah.
I started it. I saw the shorts, but I didn't finish it though. But I saw a little bit of it.
So, what was your favorite part?
Favorite part, like I said, I liked. It seemed like a drug-fueled dream almost. Like I put little notes in here. That was just, that's my take on it too.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in hearing your opinions on it.
Right. But yeah, I was trying to figure out, so was it the drugs or the mystery drink that was making everybody, because there was a mystery drink in it, and then they
Yeah,
also
that's what I
started
was gonna
doing
say.
drugs.
Yeah.
So I was trying to figure out if it was the mystery drink or if there was this, like I said, a drug-fueled dream. where
Maybe
they're just
it's
trying
the combination. It's a combination of both of them. There you go. The drug and the drink.
I did it on purpose.
Oh, okay. It was on purpose. Nice. But yeah, how'd you question it? I was kept watching. I was like, okay, here we go find this. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But
No.
yeah, it was definitely interesting. I like the green people. I thought that was interesting on there.
And now we know. Well, now we know they're marker people.
Marker and random whatever was green that you could put on someone's skin.
I did, to be fair, I did have to. The bedroom scene did gross me out some. I had to kind of fast forward it a little bit. I ain't gonna lie on that. If you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I do. Then
I did have to fast forward on that a little bit.
all I'm
but I
gonna
was
say is, if you had to fast forward that part in that movie, in Lilith, there's gonna be a section you're gonna want to just skip right over.
probably. But I was like, oh, okay, we're just gonna tap forward a little bit right now.
With Lilith, this new movie, it ups the ante with all the stuff that I've done so far. So it's going to be my better one of all of them when it comes to production and budget and stuff like that. It was all filmed on my Android phone as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I was asking Justin, I was like, what do you think I should film it in? He's like, just use your phone, dude. And film it in HD. He's using Adobe Premiere and After Effects. 2 programs put together, can do some cool shit. And we're putting it together now. We're editing it, and I still have a few more things to wrap up filming as soon as I get all my car crap figured out. So that, and yeah, we're gonna piece it together, work on some cool visuals. It has a couple like montage sequences in it that it's not gonna play like your average movie. It's gonna play like I don't know, Easy Rider meets some weird trippy music videos. It has music video qualities for sure. And that's why I kind of mentioned that Jonas Ackerland, the director of Spun, it's kind of influenced by that. And at the same time creating something original that hasn't really been done yet. I mean, I don't want to say that and put myself on a pedestal, but I feel like there's some things that I'm doing that haven't really been tried, or if so, they didn't hold the right quality to turn people's heads, and I think this does.
Oh, nice. We have let's see, what was his name? Eric. I ain't even going to try to pronounce that last name. Says, I'm glad to be doing a film with you. Thank you, Jay.
Yes, Eric Kelgard, if I'm pronouncing it right. He is going to be doing some really cool effects in this movie.
Nice.
He makes cool props, like skeleton props, like drippy and gross and melty, and it's some controversial stuff we're working on, and I'm excited to be a part of it all. I'm glad that he was willing to donate pretty much some of his videos, and that's what's going to be worth it.
Awesome.
So I guess
Always
you're all
good
in.
to see practical effects.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're more into practical effects than CGI.
Yeah. That's why I like the Evil Dead movies, because they're mostly done with practical effects. Even the newest one, not the Evil Dead Rise, which looks pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm sure it'll be really good because Sam Raimi really knows what he's doing in things, and he knows what to put his name on too. So
right.
I'm pretty excited for Evil Dead Rise. But Evil Dead, I think it was 2013.
2013, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one, that was really cool.
Yeah.
And I love the practical effects. I think they only really use CGI for some of the fire scenes.
Yeah. We had Lou Taylor Pucci on, and he had some interesting stories about that. So that was a good time when he was on. He I forget his character's name, but he read from the book and the new Evil Dead. So.
Yeah, he caused everything.
it was his fault.
Oh, the hippie dude with the glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had him on. He is great. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
He was one of the best qualities of that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's an amazing guest too. He has a really good ghost story too.
Yeah.
Cool.
But so if anybody's listening and want to check that out, that is on my channel where I put all the clips, or you can watch the whole video on the Horror Freaks channel. But if you just want to watch the ghost story, you go to my channel. It's just Miss Boomstick, like it says. And there's a playlist that says the House of
clips.
Horrors podcast clips. Got a whole playlist, and there's not a whole lot. It's just basically things I think is funny. I've clicked out and made their own video. So if somebody don't have 2 or 3 hours to watch, they can just watch this little clip.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's
I'll reshare that episode too. I'll put that back out. That was a good one. So.
Actually, I got,
yeah, you can put both links if you want.
yeah,
The show
give me a second.
and your clips.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
used to do some deathmatch wrestling too, and I used to actually have my own paranormal investigation group.
Oh, nice. Did not know that.
I've tried to like be involved with a lot of the things that I'm interested in, just because. What else am I going to do? I like to be involved in as many things as possible, because you never know what's going to take off out of all your passions.
Mm-hmm. So, have you had any ghost experiences? Or supernatural, or anything interesting?
Paranormal. Right. I would say over the years, I kind of turned into quite the skeptic. But I'm big into the whole culture and all that stuff. I think it's really cool. Let's see. We got like a musket shot on audio from an old like Civil War cemetery. And that was pretty sweet. That was probably, it totally sounded like it. You could hear the cock or the like the mechanics of the gun. I can't really explain it, but you could hear it in the sound it makes before you shoot, and the sound of the reverb echo in the sky after it was shot. It was wild. That, like little girls giggling, kids giggling in cemeteries, stuff like that. Nothing too extreme. I don't know, but I'm still a skeptic. I have a hard time believing 100% in most things unless I see them.
Yeah.
With my eyes. With this eye.
The eye that was ripped out.
Yeah, I was just about ready to say with the gouged out eye.
You guys heard of trauma?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep. Lilith will most likely be coming out on trauma in due time. Probably not right away. I want to go do some conventions with some trauma actors and actresses, and the whole Lloyd Kaufman thing. He has. I've heard that he's going to have me do some screenings and stuff like that. I talked through Chrissy Starr. She's one of the trauma actresses currently doing movies with trauma. Curse of the Were-Deer, stuff like that.
Did she do Shakespeare Shitstorm?
Yes.
Is she like a kind of short blonde girl? Is that her, or am I thinking of someone else?
No, I don't think she's blonde. She could have been. I think she's changing her hair up, but it's dark and she's a little heavier set.
Oh, okay, it's not who I'm thinking then, but
yeah, Chrissy Starr is awesome. She does a lot of good work.
Who knows? I might have met her. I've been to the trauma table so many times. I've met Lloyd a couple of times and a couple of people who were there. So, but if I've seen her or if I see her, I'll know. So,
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, she was saying how what it's like there at the conventions and stuff like that, and I should get my movie some screenings, and I think I'm going to go for it.
Mm-hmm. Have you been to any conventions prior, or like as an attendee, or?
Yeah, as an attendee, I've been to a few of them. I never went to the Trauma Dance. I want to go to the Trauma Dance when they had them come through Detroit, but I never did. My guitar player, Dave, did, but I never did. but yeah, I have aspirations to do all those things.
Mhm.
Print
So
out
now
a
you
bunch
can
of
set up your own table or join
Yeah.
the trauma table or whatever. Yeah. So
yeah.
let's see the others.
That all started from me having Lloyd Kaufman on my Crimson Cult podcast.
Oh, nice.
I talked to him for about an hour, and we're supposed to schedule a part 2 to it, but I think he's a little busy doing all of this stuff like that, promoting some movies. So
Yeah.
him getting back to me can take some time. He did a cool promo for me on my YouTube talking about my Crimson Cult podcast, and he said, "I want to see your films. Yeah, send them to my agent, and he'll send them to me and stuff like that." So that's what I did, and they sent me a message back saying, "We'd like to have your movies featured on Trauma Now." So I signed a licensing agreement, and 3 of my short films, The Witch, Green Hell, Crickets in the Snow, are up on Trauma Now streaming service, and 2 No Class Assassins music videos are up there as well on Trauma Now.
Nice.
Yeah. I think I had Trauma Now for a bit, but I don't think I renewed it. But
Right.
I like the Toxic
lot of them.
Adventures, and there's so many different ones though. Surf, like, was it Nazi or Surf Nazi Ninja Nazis or something like that? There's like a whole bunch of stuff on there.
Surf Nazis Must Die.
Or Surf Nazis Must Die. Yeah, okay.
Blood Hook, classic Nukem High.
Well, yeah, all the class of Nukem Highs. They needed the return to Nukem. Well, like they're supposed to have another part 2 to that or something, but they haven't released it yet. But it's a return to Nukem High or something on that. What's the title? Yeah.
There's some funny names.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm not super big into adding comedy into my movies, even though sometimes it might seem like it, because it naturally happens. But it's not, that's because there are some trauma movies that are serious and are just low budget. And that's kind of more where I'm at in my style, aside from some comedy parts.
And then there's Poultrygeist.
And then there's Poultrygeist. And then there's Killer Condom.
Oh my God, Killer Condoms, yeah.
Condom's got like vampire fangs.
Yep. They're just going.
Fuck that shit.
Oh. Well, in that case, no fucking involved with those.
Nope.
Oh man.
We're raw dogging it.
That was such a silly.
Or like
movie.
Chillerama with the killer sperm, the
Giant sperm.
Classic.
My cat even disapproves of that. If you heard that, Peanut Gallery. So it's a giant killer sperm. I heard meow.
Is the cat's name Tasha?
No. Technically his name is Magneto, but he doesn't answer to that. So my husband started calling him Max, and he does answer to that. So we call him Max, but technically it's Magneto, like the X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
And my dog's name Rogue. So
Nice.
So she's an X-Men too.
That reminds me of the scene on Family Guy where they're all sitting at the clam and they're like, "Turn us into X-Men." And Joe's Professor X, he's like, "Go figure."
Yeah, exactly. That was funny.
I love Family Guy. I'm a big fan.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Yep.
Well, I'm sure you've heard the story about Seth MacFarlane, how he was almost on the plane on September 11th that hit the two towers, but he was
I've heard of that.
But he was drunk and he missed his flight, and so.
Boo saved the day.
Yep.
In one of the rare instances where that happens.
Right.
That's just crazy. Could you imagine if he was on there, all the stuff that we wouldn't have anymore because of that? Oh man. So, and I'm not sure who that is, but
Eric said that. Eric says you guys have great energy. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Was that who was on Saturday Night Live? She's like, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. And she like kick her leg up in the air. When it was good. I mean, I haven't watched Saturday Night Live in so long. It hasn't really been as funny.
No.
But
I do like Keenan though.
Yes.
Love Keenan.
Right.
Is he even on there anymore? Or am I thinking of a different Keenan? I can't even say it.
Kenan Thompson.
Yeah, he's still on there, I believe.
Is he?
So
Yeah.
Yes, that shows how long I've watched it. I don't know.
Do you guys go to see bands play, like locally?
I used to. When I lived in my hometown, there was a long time I was really big into it. I even had a few of the bands I was friends with. Even one of them played our wedding because we didn't do a DJ. I just had one of my friends' band play our wedding. But I used to do it a lot, but now we don't live there. We've moved, and I've had a lot of like health issues, so I don't really go anywhere. So I don't. Now I live in a different state, and I literally don't know what local bands are up here, so I haven't really been out. But
That makes sense.
I used to go all the time. Irene even played my hometown once, and I had to end up working, and I couldn't make it. But I tried so hard to go see him. The first Jason.
First Jason, yeah.
Yeah, I tried so hard because he was at a bar in my hometown, and I tried. I really wanted to go, but at the time, I worked a lot.
He'll hang out with you and talk to you too, sign whatever, take pictures. He's a great guy.
Yeah. I saw him recently in Ocala at Spookala. He had played a concert there. Ice Nine Kills also played there. I forget where they're from. If West Palm Beach, a band named called Werewolves played there. I'm not too familiar with them. That's the first time I heard them. Let's see, Ice Nine Kills. That's pretty much it. I haven't seen much otherwise than who played at Spookala. So, and Corey Feldman played at Spookala. Oh, that was interesting. But that's pretty much the last people I've seen perform.
Ice Nine Kills. No Class Assassins, I believe, opened up for Ice Nine Kills.
Okay.
When we played Warped Tour 2010.
Okay.
Yeah, Ice Nine Kills, Immure, Suicide Silence, Whitechapel. I wrestled a bear once, Parkway Drive. Yeah, it was a good one. The Casualties played right after us, as soon as our set ended, they played. You could hear them start on the other stage. I was like, hell yeah, this is cool. Big crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't even think that because the place we didn't have our wedding in a normal church because there was some things that we wanted to do that a lot of churches said no. I went to a lot of churches and talked about what we wanted to do, and they was like no. So because we had like a Star Wars / horror themed wedding, and then his sister, and then his sister was the person who officiated it. And so none of the churches in our area wanted to have anything to do with that. So I went to this one place. It was like a town that was nearby, but it was like more rural than the town I grew up in. And I found this hall, and they had a pizza place connected to. It was like a hall in the middle, a pizza place, and they had a bar as well. They owned all 3 buildings, so they were interconnected, but separate buildings. And so we had our wedding there. We had the hall like set up for the wedding, and then we just changed things around for the reception and we had pizza buffet for our food. So we just used everything we had there. And then people could go next door if they wanted alcohol. But we're like 90% sure they give us a discount because we had a live band. And I remember the quote that they gave me, and I ended up paying like a lot less. I kept asking them, are you sure? And they said, oh yeah, sure. Because we didn't care if people like from the bar kind of merged over and was listening to the band, because we brought live music with us. We brought our own entertainment, so they were happy with that.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, I don't even know if they still play because I haven't been in my hometown. Well, I've been in my hometown, but it's always on holidays, so I don't have time to.
Right, the holidays. People are usually surprised when I tell them I enjoy the holidays.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like Christmas.
Yeah.
The Nightmare Before Christmas, same here.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Mean One yet?
Oh no, not yet. I want to.
I kind of watched a little of the like a bad copy of it. Like, nah, I can't do this. But it seems like though, what kind of sucks about like I like David Howard Thornton, and it's an awesome story, and like the actors are great in it. But they used like CGI effect for the blood, and I'm like, ah, why? That was the only.
Oh,
that was
yeah.
the only,
That's a big turnoff for me.
that was the only downfall. I'm like, oh, come on. I mean, you got great people in it, great story, and it was funny because they didn't use the name the Grinch, you know, like from the trailer, he calls him the mean one. But she's like, they started to say Grinch like a couple of times, but the bartender interrupted, and she's like, Finch, just like calling out an order for someone named Finch. She's like, are you saying he's a Finch instead of Grinch? Like they didn't use the term.
That's hilarious.
I guess maybe they couldn't say Grinch in it. I don't know.
I don't think they can, or just wanted to hint on it anyway.
So then they always started to say it the second time, and she said it, and she's like, last call, Finch. So it was funny. But the whole CGI blood, I was just like, why?
That kind of reminds me of that Ninja Assassin movie. All the blood was kind of digital, but there was a lot of it throughout the whole movie. But it was a turn off. It turned me off.
I was like, I forget what movie it was, but I was joking around like Mortal Kombat for Sega Genesis. You know, when you punched him, it was like a cloud of blood. Like it was really weird. It was just like a cloud of blood. I'm like, that's what it looks like, a cloud of blood, and it's just like, but oh well.
Right. I'm big into the whole 80s aesthetic, though. I like the VHS aesthetic to things, the glitches, the bar lines, the color lines, stuff like that. I'm a big fan. I like putting those in my movies purposefully.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, I was gonna say the glitches and it. Yeah.
Green Hell was actually, I edited that with 2 VCRs and a television, and then I gave me and Justin uploaded it digitally to a computer and edited the rest of it and made it flow a bit better. But yeah, there was a few more scenes in it that just would have taken the story too far away, so we kind of just got rid of them. And some stuff got destroyed in my car accident in 2006. I think that was the same year I got into a bad car accident and lost like a few tapes worth of footage.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Right. Thanks. It was wild. They said that the only room in my car was for me. It was compacted.
Oh.
Yeah, there was only room for me in my car. The people who hit me are paralyzed.
Oh, wow.
It was like, it kind of happened like this. I had a green. I was going straight. They were coming from the left, and they were in the turning lane, and they went straight. So I don't know what the hell they were thinking, and they plowed right into me. And I don't know. They said that if I wouldn't have been so relaxed while I was driving, that I would have gotten injured. So once again, marijuana saves the day.
What is it with alcohol and marijuana saving lives?
I would rather give my life to marijuana than alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
I don't trust alcohol.
No, I was just saying because of the story of Seth.
I don't trust you, alcohol. No.
Right. Somebody I know of, I won't say who, but because we are also on Facebook, but somebody I know of, they was extremely drunk and they ended up doing something stupid and it ended their life. But it was all because of alcohol.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a bummer. I'm sorry to hear that too.
Yeah.
I was in a bad car accident. Not as bad as yours, but it was kind of a highway, but it was one of those highways where it doesn't go over like 50, 55 miles per hour. And there was a stoplight, and there was like an interchange going off exits and whatnot onto the highway. And it was a 3 lanes. I was in the middle. at the line at the stoplight, and there was something going on in the next lane. Never did figure out what was. Trying to look and see, it looked like maybe a minor accident or something. They took off when
Mhm.
I got hit, but this big full size van. I was in a little Tempo. If you know what a Tempo is, I think there was one in one of your movies actually, because it reminded me of my accident. I was in that, and there was a great big full size van, and they was looking rubbernecking and seeing what was going on. They didn't see the red light. I stopped them from running the red light. So there was no like signs of them breaking whatsoever, the police said. But they ended inside my trunk. I had no more trunk left in my car. So
Oh,
that
wow.
was fun. I have a lot of like neck issues, and that was from like 1997. I still have issues from that car accident.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry.
But yeah, it's not near as bad as yours.
Right. I didn't really even get hurt in that whole thing. I remember getting knocked out. The last thing I remember is looking to my left and seeing the white van like coming whoosh right at me, because they kind of T-boned me, but I was flipped over, and the car that hit me from the other way kind of pushed me back to where I was supposed to be, like, but all messed up, and it was weird. I remember a band I like, Venomous Concept, playing in my car radio, and you could still hear it. And I remember they were taking me on the stretcher, and I'm always, even in a worse situation, I try to be humorous, and I'm like, oh, my CDs, not my CDs, you know. Venomous Concept, oh man, it's not good.
Yeah, when I wrecked in some snow, freaking I couldn't see, and I was gonna pull over, and I didn't pull over in time, and like I started to lose control, and I was stupid, and I hit the brake, and like just like when it's wet, you don't want to do that in hydro and rain, and I wasn't thinking. It was like I forget what time it was. It was late. I was driving, and I flipped a couple times off to the side, and I was hung upside down. Thankfully, a trucker saw what happened and came and helped me out because I mean I could have gotten out, but it was hard, and I'm just like, okay. And I was like trying to get out, and he helped me out. Like I could have probably eventually got out, but it wasn't fun.
Right.
hanging upside down. And of course, the airbag went off and all that. And when that happened, it just totaled the car. I was like, fuck. I'm like, shit. But it could have been worse, though. I mean, shoot.
True.
So, I mean, I wasn't hurt. I was fine, other than being like, fuck, just a little shocked what happened, but physically nothing was wrong. So
roads can get pretty rough around here where I'm at in Michigan.
Oh yeah, here I'm in Wisconsin. I hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, we drove through Wisconsin to play in Minnesota.
Oh, nice.
Burnsville. We played in Burnsville at a place called the Garage.
Nice.
Cool place.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that's at.
Right, we had No Class Assassins had a small tour. We did a small tour with a band called Miles from Exile, and I'm pretty sure they were from Chicago. I could be wrong, but yeah, this was in 2012, and we were scheduled to play Iowa, Nebraska, and Burnsville, Minnesota. I think there was another place. Tour didn't go the way we wanted it to, but it was a learning experience. It was pretty fun. Just getting into a van and roughing it, it's kind of like dating 4 other people. 3 other people. Where's he at? Oh no, we got to make sure. Where's Dave? Where's Chris? Where's this guy?
I'm in the southern.
Boy, I hope he's in a good mood.
I'm at the southern end of Wisconsin, like maybe 10, 15 minutes away from the border of Illinois. So kind of like right on the bottom edge of Wisconsin.
It's funny because that in 2012 there was a report. We heard the report when we were already leaving Wisconsin. I think it was in Wisconsin that there was 4 figures in black robbing people, or people that were going around dressed in black robbing people. And it was funny because there was 4. It was reports that there was 4 of them, and we had just left Wisconsin.
And you were all dressed in black, and
we're metalheads. We were horror lovers, and Johnny Cash said it best.
The cop pulls you over. Yeah, I heard there was, but no, it's not us. We're sorry.
No, it's not us. It's some other
Do you have an
Freaky
alibi for that
guys.
night? I'm kidding.
I remember because we were driving back and my sister texts my phone and she's like, you all right? I was like, you heard about the 4 guys in Wisconsin? She's like, yeah, just making sure you're all right. Not doing anything you shouldn't be.
Speaking of that, we had some exciting stuff happen on Friday. Usually not a lot happens here, but I just got home from picking up my son from school, and I started hearing a lot of commotion. I was outside with my dog, and so I went up front. And I hear police yelling, "Get your hands up!" I'm like, "What the heck's going on?" I looked down the street. Apparently, there was a car chase in town, and they ended at the very end of our block. So that was a lot of craziness. They had a fire truck, bunch of police. Oh, it was crazy.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah. But at least it was like all the way at the end of the block. I'm assuming there was no issues. I haven't seen it in like the paper or anything yet. So I'm assuming there was no like major issues. They got the person right away. I just know that there was a police chase that ended it. But
yeah.
It's like the only thing I've seen. I saw a bank robbery one time. People running out of the bank. They had like shirts or around that wrapped around their face. They got in a van and sped off. Or like, did they just rob the bank? It was like right across the street from where this Blockbuster used to be too. And like the same or the same parking plaza, whatever you want to call it. There's Blockbuster bank, and I think we were heading the Blockbuster, and we had just like turned in, like not even that far ahead. All of a sudden, like we saw the van that was parked out front, and then all of a sudden, guy had guns in his hand, and he ran out and jumped in the van. We're like, what the hell? It's like I just witnessed a robbery. Like,
what was your guys' favorite interview so far? Who's one of your favorites?
that's tough.
So many.
I know Lou is one of my favorites. We was just talking about. He was great. David,
of course.
Hilarious.
Rob Bello and Rebecca are always great.
Yeah.
Rob from Happy Death Day. He was the babyface killer. We've had Andre Gower. Jenna Cadell was fun. Casey, all the Terrifier people are great.
Mm-hmm.
So,
awesome.
And then, of course, we got all the Polonia pals. All the different people from Mark Polonia movies have been on. They're always fun.
The paranormal one we did with Steve. I can never say his last name.
Steve from Peachy, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever saw Carousel with Duke the Unicorn. Did you ever see that, Carousel? The Unicorn?
I don't think so.
Well, he does the voice of yeah, definitely check them out. They're great. They might both be on Tubi still, or I don't know if they went down or not, but
I did a podcast with a archbishop who performed lots of exorcisms.
Oh, nice.
And he was telling me a lot of crazy stuff. You should check that one out. That's Crimson Cult Podcast. I forgot what episode number, but yeah. I use the Anchor app because I just did audio only at first, but I think I'm going to make that switch over because this is way more fun.
Yeah. Well, what I do... Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. But what I do is after we get our show done, I will download it and then I edit the video out and then I put the sound onto Anchor. So we are both places. So we're here and then I edit it down. I'll cut out like the dead spaces, or if we have an interview and we continue talking after the guest leaves, I'll cut it at the interview or whatever. But yeah, I'll edit it down. I do all that stuff and put it on.
Yeah, I like doing that stuff too. It's fun.
Yeah. Let's see who else.
Yeah, that's my job is editor and graphic designer.
Hell yeah! What made you two team up?
I guess.
Yeah, knew each other on YouTube. Yeah, so just started doing the show. Yep. So
did you both start your own shows separately? Or you still do separately your own shows?
I didn't do a show prior to this, really. Other people were doing interviews, and then he was in here earlier. Hobbs was in here earlier. I don't know if you saw him or not, but he said, "Hey, they had like done some interviews on another channel. I got them Danielle Harris because I've known her for years from going to conventions, and it was just before I started my show, which I could have. I mean, I don't mind, share the guests, whatever. When I first started out, but then I was like, you know what, I can do this. I'm gonna do my own show. So that's pretty much what I decided to do. So seeing other people, and I go to enough conventions and meet enough people that I could have done this a long time ago. It probably had tons of more people on by now, but
That's cool.
so
Yeah,
but,
for the most part, I just kind of do my own stuff and post whatever. My channel is like a menagerie of all sorts of stuff. So, other than that, I just do that. I also do TikTok, and I do my TikTok, and then my dog and animals have their own TikTok. But other than that, I just kind of do my own thing. I do gaming, or I'll make little shorts when I'm practicing my editing. Because I didn't go to school for that. I've been teaching myself. So
Right.
I've
Same
made like
here.
little shorts to kind of practice my skills at it. So I got a bunch of that crap on there. So I edit this stuff and just kind of do my own thing.
Hell yeah, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
yeah. So just having fun and just whatever, just going for it all, So,
Yep.
yeah. What else? You watching any interesting TV series, or do you just watch movies?
TV series, they're hard for me to get into at first. I feel like I have a hard time setting that off, if that makes sense. I have a hard time initiating me watching a series because it's like, what if I don't know. I'm a different breed of human, I guess. I love movies. I'll watch movies, TV series. To be honest, when I was dating my ex girlfriend Deanna, her daughter Mariah loved Stranger Things, so I got into Stranger Things because of that, and we split. Unfortunately, she was actually Deanna was the actress in The Witch with the dark hair.
Oh,
And,
okay.
her daughter loved that show, and we would watch it. And we split. I don't see the kids much anymore, but they're all grown up now, and I still watch Stranger Things.
Yeah, Stranger Things. Good.
I just heard their big announcement with season 5. It's going to be the last one.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Yep, final season.
And I also heard they want to do like some spin-offs or something off it too, so they probably will. I wouldn't be surprised.
Right. Well, 11's not 11 anymore. She's
Right.
He's 12.
Yeah.
Well, none of them are 11 anymore. So, but
Yeah,
they do
right.
like it's so long in between that they do the seasons and stuff. So, I mean,
Right. They probably realize it's not going to make much sense soon. So I have a feeling they'll have a season 6, but like maybe 10 years from now, something like that, and it'll be cool. And it'll be
They're all grown up and have to like be like the It, where they all have to come back or something as adults.
Yep. See,
they'll call it the strangest things instead of Stranger Things. It's the strangest things. They're back.
Stranger things.
Yeah. From the last season, I can't think of his last name. Kevin, he played Vecna's dad in the last season 4 or whatever.
Okay. Yep.
And he's also done, what was the other show he did? I can't think of it. I think it's like an FX show. He did a couple episodes of that, but he was at Spookala. So it was funny because I got at the concert, the first Jason concert that we went to. It was funny because the cast of Terrifier, me, Lauren, Elliot, the brother, and there was one other person I think was in the picture, and like whoever took the picture like took 2 of them quick. Kevin, like one of them, you see Kevin start to come in, and then he jumped in. He's in the picture. The 4th one, he was so funny. He's like jumping into everybody's picture. And then there's another picture, a group of us where someone was dressed up as the Grinch and stuff, and Kevin's always just like poking his head, like, "Oh, hey, I'm here."
That's funny.
Yeah, he was cool though. But, yeah, they get some awesome guests at Spookala. You should check it out. The girl who plays Megan is going to be there. Let's see. It's in June. They got people from the Conjuring universe going to be there. La Llorona is going to be there.
I went to, I think it was called Motor City Comic Con. Not Comic Con, Motor City Nightmares.
Yeah, Motor City Nightmares.
Yep, I met Doug Bradley there.
He's awesome. Yeah.
He signed one of my Hellraiser copies. I met King Hodder there. He signed one of my Jason cards. I also met Dee Wallace.
I haven't met her yet. I really want to.
Yeah, she's a really nice girl. So Dee Wallace, let's see. The guy from The Hills Have Eyes, the original.
Michael Berryman. Yep.
Yeah. He's cool.
I've been to a few cons. I got to meet Gunnar Hansen not too long before he passed away.
Ooh.
We talked to him for so long.
I bet. That's cool.
Yeah. Because it was so many like people from I believe it was Friday the 13th 7, I want to say. I know it was a Friday the 13th 7 photo shoot, so there's probably that, but there was so many people from that, not very many people was going to his table, so he just kind of like sat there. And when we got onto the floor, I just like beelined to the table. My husband, at the time we were dating, but my husband said it looked like I was a little kid in the candy store. I just like beelined straight to Gunnar. And I think he saw it because he talked us to like good 45 minutes. Let's take 2 pictures instead of 1. And so.
Oh, Tom Atkins is going to be at Spookella. I didn't even realize that.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I'll be working it. I've worked the last 2 ones, so I'll be working the 3rd one too. Obviously, I've been working with them since the beginning, so I think Spookella is going to be like one of my main cons that I work. So it's always fun working them.
What do you do exactly, Adam?
Well, I've been with guests. I've been PA. I've been a floater where I also was with the guests. I was with Jonathan Breck for a little bit, the Creeper. If anyone needed breaks, helped out with the lines. Sometimes I'm like just that one person's assistant all day. It depends, whatever. So I kind of like being a floater because that way I can like sit with each guest or fill in when whoever needs a break and, just talk to everybody. And that way I can, and also what's good about floating around, like I can also like get in the line real quick, take a quick picture with them and, while I'm there and then, head back. And I worked with Dave Sheridan 1 year, Deputy Doofy, and he's done a bunch of movies, him and Felissa Rose. So, but yeah, it's just whatever they need me to do, I'll do it. So
that's cool. I met what's his name? Oh, Sid Haig.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got a few. Yeah, I met him a few times. I'm so glad I met him. So yeah, it's too bad he wasn't in the 3 from Hell, the new one, but he was in it briefly. But.
Yeah, it's just with his health, he couldn't really do
Yeah.
that much. But unfortunately, he did try. He was in it.
Hey, at least he did a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was a decent one. I like House and Devils. That's my favorite. House and Devil.
Yeah, I know a lot of people crap on 3 from Hell, but I think it shows more of their family aspect. Like the way I described it, because I'm pretty sure I did like a review type thing. The way I kind of described it, it shows more moments like what was in Devil's Rejects, where they're all in the car and they're complaining about ice cream. It shows more of those moments in 3 from Hell. It's more like their family, even though they have a fucked up family. It's more of a family bond, I think, that shows in that movie.
Yeah.
Yep, they sure are a fucked up family, but it's fine. Right. The ice cream scene's the best scene. There's no fucking ice cream in your future. I could go for some Tutti fucking Fruity. What was the Lords of Salem? That was the only one that I thought was kind of boring. I couldn't get into that.
Yeah, I didn't like that one either.
Yeah. I remember seeing that and thinking, what? Like, is he like taking too much acid? Like he knows how to go about movies, but the endings are, I don't know, something. That ending was just awful.
I didn't get to the ending. I couldn't say.
You can get
I don't really remember too much of it. I just remember it was weird, and I'm like, "What the hell am I watching?" I just
I was like, why is she riding a goat with a black metal band shirt on? Like, that's cool and all, but it doesn't, like, I didn't understand. I understood why they kept showing a weird, like, tentacle creature, because that's supposed to be Satan, like the birth of Satan.
right.
But yeah, it was just bizarre. I liked the whole mysterious door apartment with the weird cross in there, and it reminded me of like 70s, like 60s, 70s, like Satanic Panic, the old school like witchcraft films, and all of them had like Ernest Borgnine or William Shatner in them. But all those old movies about the devil and cults and stuff like that. I get a kick out of that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are some of my favorite movies. They either did it good or it was unwatchable.
Right.
You ever see Prince of Darkness, John Carpenter?
Yeah. It's been so long, I don't really remember it much.
The one with Alice Cooper is like a bum and he stabs that guy with a bike. That movie is a creep fest. When I first seen that movie freaked me out. Practical effects.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and watch that. There's some.
Yeah, Donald Pleasance is in that.
I was going to say, I thought that was Donald Pleasance that was in that too. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So, what do you guys think about the Thorn trilogy?
Thorn?
Yeah, the Thorn trilogy. It would be Halloween 4, 5, and 6.
Oh, gotcha. I was thinking of a movie called Thorn. I was confused.
Right, yeah.
4, 5, and 6.
A lot of people didn't like that they tied in Celtic.
Yeah.
The whole thing with the constellations and the rune, the thorn symbol on
that was kind of weird.
wrist. I thought it was kind of cool. A lot of people shit on it. I thought it was cool because it gave it just a different element to why he killed people in the first place.
Right. Plus 4 and 5, you get Danielle Harris.
Yeah.
And that was cool too. Yeah. I think they're setting up with Halloween Ends. I think they're setting it up for a series. I read something somewhere that movie was setting it up for a series, and that was the whole kind of point for this new trilogy, was to set up for a show called Haddonfield, something to do with Haddonfield, which has the daughter, Allison.
I thought I heard something about Haddonfield. And then speaking of like spin-off shows, they're going to do like a Camp Crystal one. I think Peacock's doing it or whatever. They're going to do a Friday the 13th.
They might as well. The Chucky one's pretty good.
So yeah. I still didn't watch the last 2 episodes of the last season, but
doing better than me. I haven't even watched the new season yet.
Oh.
I keep meaning to. It's nothing against the show. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Right. Did you like the first season?
I did like the first season.
Yeah.
I just haven't got around to. I keep forgetting about it and not going back to the second season. Like if I'm looking for something to watch, and when I can watch a horror movie, and it's like I forget about it.
Okay, I got a question. I know I'm a metalhead, a punk guy, and I do my fair share of cussing. But in the movie It, didn't the swearing that the kids do kind of take you out of it a little? I was like, why are these kids swearing so much? Like, I get it, but they swore way too much. To hear a little kid say fuck and goddamn that many times, I was like, it was almost lazy writing.
True. I don't remember if they do that in the book or not. I could see it in the book. I have the book. I haven't read the book, but I don't know. I could see Stephen King doing that, though, making him swear like that in the book.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing for a guy like me to complain about, I know. But it was just, it took me out of it.
Child orgy. So, hey.
Well, in the book, in the movie, they just cut their hands and did the blood, but in the book, they were all with Bev.
Damn.
What was that?
Damn.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was like, okay, why am I reading this? No, no, no.
I guess it just goes hand in hand with the whole, it's a different time. It was a different time.
It was a different time with it. Oh. But yeah, there was some stuff from the movie that in the book they totally changed. So, but yeah, I guess I didn't really think about it, but I guess the good thing going back to it, like, yeah, they did say fuck a lot.
Right.
In the first one, they didn't because it was a TV miniseries.
The one with Tim Curry,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was an awesome one. I mean, I know it didn't stick too much to the book, and I think the new movies did more, from what I've been told. Because I'm not a big reader as much as I should be. I have aspirations to read, and I think it's going to be that way until I die.
I try. It was really hard for me, especially bigger books, to get focused and sit down and read.
Yep.
I try. I really do. But I get sidetracked so easily, and then I forget to go back to it. And if it's not something I can basically read in one full sitting, I'm probably, unless the book's like really interesting, you might as well forget I'm not reading it.
I feel that. I collect occult books. I have like a lot of black magic books and like ritual stuff, and I don't know. I don't do any of it. I just like having the books. It's cool. It brings me comfort. Don't judge me. I don't worship the devil.
You'll start the next apocalypse next thing we hear.
Oh shit. Like,
I just think they're cool as all.
Well, what was that show? Todd and the Book of Evil. Did you ever watch that?
It sounds familiar.
Like he had that book, and there was one episode where they actually did a musical. It had Jason Mewes was in it as like the janitor there.
I see, Matt. Todd
and then the principal is like the son of the cult devil worshiper, and they were trying to get the book from Todd, and yeah.
Yep, and he looked like Ned Flanders.
Yeah, that's who he looks like. Yeah.
Todd in the Book of Pure Evil. Yeah, that show's hilarious, and the seasons were great.
There were only 2, and it sucks because the way they ended it, they needed a 3rd season. They didn't answer anything. I'm like, oh, what a way to end the series! Like you don't know what's going to happen. I hate when they do that. They have something really good, and then they don't complete it. It's like,
I hate when they end it. They try ending it with like a 2-hour movie ending special to wrap up the story, and it's like, oh no, why? Just
as long as they wrap it up, though. I hate it when it just ends with nothing, though. I don't know.
Right. Or like they try to wrap up the story, but with one different actor playing a vital role.
That's what's stupid when they switch actors or whatever. It's like, oh gosh. But, nah. What else is going on? So let's see. We talked about you're working on Lilith, and you were thinking about maybe doing that web series or that you were talking about earlier.
I was thinking we have ideas about doing some stuff like that. I think it would be cool. I think it would be enjoyed by, at least a group of people. Bums was the theme. A different take on the homeless and a comedy type of thing, kind of like Trailer Park Boys if they were homeless people, like kind of like that. But there would be horror elements to it, of course, because I'm involved. I would be involved in some way. And yeah, me and Dave could come up with something awesome. We just got to get it off the ground. I've been working on Lilith, though, this would be the 3rd year.
So did you write Lilith too, or co-write it, or who came up with that?
Yes, I wrote the story. Me and Mandy, the actress playing Lilith, the character Lilith, or Lily, she came up with some stuff too that was really good ideas. And, we just kind of brainstormed and shot ideas back and forth. I made the mistake of dating her, though. So, yeah, we had a falling out. So during filming, we didn't finish. We had a falling out. So I had to have her sign away. So she signed. She was willing to sign. I mean, we're on speaking terms, but we're just not together anymore. That was a big mistake. So I was forced to be creative. So she becomes possessed in this movie, and the possessed version of her is played by a different character. And I made that. I tried my hardest to make it work, and it's gonna look cool because of the stop motion and claymation and stuff like that. But yeah, she wasn't willing to put more time into it after that because relationships can ruin friendships. And yeah, I knew that before, and I know it now.
It's like next rule: do not date until movie is finished.
Yep. As soon as credits are over, date actress. No, but yeah, no, not for me. Not for me. I'm. Who knows? I'm sure there's some other crazy girl out there who's interested in me, and she'll probably be my next victim. But
just don't put that in. Like, if you go on a dating profile, just don't put.
You're my next victim. Searching for my next. There's a bad Tinder date. Searching for my next victim.
Unless you're looking for that type.
No. I'll word it different.
Yeah, definitely.
I will word it very differently. Thank you.
So, what other interesting facts people might not know about you, whether it's hobbies or interests or just some random shit that we would find interesting?
Well, there's probably not much that I haven't covered. I love the first 10 seasons of The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Everything else after that was kind of garbage, right?
Yeah. So what do you think, since you brought up The Simpsons, what do you think about Matt Groening, where like all this stuff in episodes of Simpsons have like actually ended up happening? And some people are like,
the
is he a time
predictions and
traveler?
stuff? Oh, that's tricky. I feel like,
because I mean, one or two things might be coincidence, but there's like what 20 or 15 different things that have like come to pass.
Right, there's probably more.
Or more even.
I've watched some YouTube videos where it's all compiled, and they make compilations about it all. I don't know. It's weird. I feel like he just had some ideas that ended up happening. I remember they had an interview with Jim Morrison back in the day. Do you remember that interview where they asked him where he thinks music is going in the future? And he said, I predict a lot of machines and one person standing while the machines are playing the music. And he was dead on there, because that's all they do nowadays. Like, you're lucky if you see more than 3 people on stage, all actively playing an instrument, and not just pressing a button.
Right.
Well, they'll let you know my view on music.
It was funny, like in some of those YouTube videos, he's also done Futurama, and someone was saying, all right, he's fucking with us. He does Futurama. It's like, this is what it's like. I've been there. But,
oh, yeah, that's funny. Like he's, a time traveling guy who made 2 cartoons.
Yeah. But I mean, it is weird though, all the stuff and the drawings and the comparison. It's just like, like I said a few times, okay, coincidence, but just way too many in my opinion.
Right.
What's
There's
funny
quite
is,
a few.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I was just saying that there are quite a few coincidences.
What's funny is the Disney channel, because Simpsons are on Disney, the Disney app. They have a whole playlist of like the future. I forget, something to the effect of the future predictions of the Simpsons or something like. They have a whole playlist of them.
Oh,
I saw that and giggled.
They're rubbing it in.
Right. Yeah. I forget the exact name, but it's something to do about the future predictions.
Yeah. What do you guys think about all the UFO train derailments, all that stuff going
Well,
on.
they
Right now.
said, well, a couple of them like were balloons or whatever, but then there was a couple that they didn't show or confirm. They just kept saying UFO. But then if you think about too, like back in the Roswell incident, they had I forget the guy's name, that soldier, or whatever. No, not Kenneth. That was the first guy who came up with the name Saucer. It's Kenneth Arnold. I'd have to look it up, but they had like that one soldier take a picture with like a crashed weather balloon just to make it, seem as like balloons. It seems to be repeating itself. So, but yeah,
as well. They shot one of those down like right over Lake Huron, which is pretty damn close to me. That's interesting. And the whole Ohio incident.
That's scary.
It is scary. It is scary. They're calling it like the next Chernobyl. Like what?
Yeah.
And then there's
especially hearing that they're suppressing some of the news about it. That's what's really scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That everyone had their own opinion of COVID when it was first announced too. Like, this ain't real. This ain't.
It's like with all the crazy shit that's going on, we just need aliens now. Why not? Like whatever.
Yeah, a lot of my friends said that when COVID was a thing, when we were in the pandemic, like in the middle of the quarantine, and all that. Like, okay, next year, aliens, bro.
Okay, guys, you're not playing under my chair. Stop.
I mean, who knows what type of aliens it would be? But as big as the universe is, there has to be something.
Well, if the memes are correct, if you saw one of the names of the towns, if you know where I'm going, I believe it was Alaska. It might have been Canada. It was one of the two. I don't remember. But one of them was shot down either in or around a town called Cumtown. I'm not even lying. Because there was an explosion of memes.
There was an explosion in Cumtown. Okay.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, but I don't remember if it was Alaska or Canada. It was one of the two. I want to say it was Alaska. But yeah, it was either in or around a town called Cumtown. So yeah, there was a lot of people joking about the aliens being perverts.
That is, how is it spelled?
Like you think, C-U-M town.
Nice.
Okay.
Wow.
And they're gonna park their UFO down on Highway 69, right?
Right, and right after that, they can take it right to Pound Town.
Right. But yeah, I'll see if it still comes.
Google it. All right.
Nice.
Yeah, come down Alaska, and yeah, his first one is come down Alaska. Real place. We got it covered. They're never right.
Well, like also was it Antarctica? Like they won't let anyone fly over this one area. Nobody knows like what's going on there.
That is weird.
Like,
that
why can't? Yeah.
A big red flag.
Yeah.
Big red flag. Flying everywhere.
So.
A lot of conspiracy theories. They leave us no choice but to have some, That's how I feel.
And then there's the whole Mandela effect.
Yeah, Bernstein Bears.
Of how we remember stuff. Like, I swear for the Karate Kid, I thought it was orange, but apparently it's black. The headband.
Oh, yep, and I swear there was a movie with Sinbad and some little kid. Yes. Called
there was the Sinbad one and the Shaq one. But the Shaq one came out after Sinbad.
Yes, it did. I swear.
Yeah,
I think I saw someone on YouTube saying, "Yeah, that movie does exist." So there is the Sinbad one.
Yes, that one does exist, but or not the Sinbad one. The Shaq one exists. And this we'll call it timeline. But yeah, the Shaq one came out. It was like the 90s. It had it almost had the same type of cover, but Sinbad was in it, and it was so much better than the Shaq one. But it came out first. I remember watching it. I'm pretty sure I had it on VHS. I remember it coming out on VHS, and then we got the Shaq one, which was not as good. But
Well, if you go to YouTube, you can find clips from that one with Sinbad.
And
No, he was.
I swear it had the little kid in it. That was the little kid in Leprechaun.
Maybe. I don't remember. The only thing I remember is Sinbad. But Sinbad himself hasn't even said that he did not do that movie. So if you see clips of it, that's somebody making that. Like they edit it in a way to make that. But yeah, the Sinbad one did not exist. So if you see clips, then somebody made that. But the Shaq one exists now. But
and I swear, like
Yeah.
in the 80s or 90s, somewhere in the 90s, I remember going to a friggin' video store and seeing that damn thing, Sinbad, and he went like this, or he was going like this,
Yeah.
and he had the hat on, and the movie was either called Shazam or Kazam.
I think Kazam is the
The
Sinbad one, or it's the Shaq one. Thank you.
It was called Shazam. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Shazam.
So weird. And I swear the Berenstain Bears, or Berenstain Bears, yeah, I swear I remember it the other way. The way they're saying it wasn't. Those are the two instances where I'm like, what?
There was like something that was spelled too, like different grocery store items. Like they were showing stuff, and I'm like, no, that's how it was. And they're like, nope, this is it. And I'm like, what? Like
like the Jiffy.
Yeah.
Bear, but it's Jif. But there is Jiffy. That's just like a flour cake mix type thing.
Yeah.
Or pancake mix, whatever it is.
I forget what else there is, but yeah, there's some weird stuff there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I think we've covered about everything: conspiracies, movies, band. So yeah, we'll share all your links and everything.
Yeah, I got the YouTube link. I don't know if there's any other ones, but I've put your YouTube link in the chat a couple times. So,
well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it looks like you had at least one. I don't remember what your subscriber count was before this, but you got 205 now.
Nice. Oh yeah. Yeah, I like telling people my Facebook, which is facebook.com/noclassj.
Is it the same profile that I have?
Yes.
That we're friends on? Okay, I can put that link into.
That one you can put in my Instagram at jcrimson83. I have a TikTok too. It's J_Crimson_videos.
Okay.
And that's just a bunch of random shit.
It sounds like mine.
Yeah.
It's fun though. Social media can be a drag sometimes, but I signed up for it. It's part of who I am now. Promoting all the things I like to promote.
Yeah.
I definitely want people to check out Lilith.
Yeah, for sure. So now, are you still filming that one?
Yeah, there's a couple scenes, at least three or four quick things. I turned my walk-in closet in my room at home into a scene for the movie. It's going to be the homeless man's den. And it's all like ritualed out in there. The homeless man is quite vital to this movie.
Mm-hmm.
But turn my closet into where I'm going to have candles, and it's going to be dark, and there's Christmas lights in there, and there's symbols on the walls, and there's dead animal potions because he makes potions out of dead animal bones, and there's going to be some stuff like that in this. All of my movies are in the same universe as well. I haven't really had instances with the same characters being exchanged in the movies, or one character showing up in a different movie, but I'm still alive, so there's still time to do that. But yeah, I consider them in the same universe. Just to throw that out there.
All right. Nice. Yeah. So we've been going over 2 hours now, so it's been good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm running out of any questions. Joan, anybody else? I don't know if anyone had any questions. They can toss up there and give a few minutes, I guess, to see if anyone wants to ask anything else. And yeah, so that's I got some plans just to watch some more movies. Try to get some more guests, which I'm sure you're gonna probably do for your podcast, huh? Try to get some more people on soon. I know you already did them, but the ones you do you ever do them live or anything, or you just pre-record them and then throw them up?
I usually pre-record them and then do a little audio boost in spots where it needs it, and then there's that. But I like to keep it kind of raw because I like to give the listener the concept of eavesdropping on a phone call, and that's kind of what it is. Because I just have an app that records my phone calls, and then I just call that person on speaker, and that's how I go about it. Probably going to switch it up though. I like the different streaming services that are out there, like this one, and Zoom, and there's a few other ones that will let you use their applications, if that makes sense. And
right,
it's way easier, and they set it up for you very well nowadays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like the StreamYard personally.
Yeah, this seems great.
Yeah. So.
This is like my second or third podcast on StreamYard, and it flows well. It's set up right. It's easy.
Yeah. Easiest way to connect too. Just here you go. Just click there. Oop, okay, we're good.
Yeah, and you can stream to multiple places. You can have banners going on.
Okay, not on this channel.
You can have banners going along the bottom. There's another feature, excuse me, where you can play like music in the background and all sorts of stuff with it. I like playing with all the features when I stream on here.
Yep. They got a lot of people. They got a lot of people and a lot of different ways to go about podcasts and stuff. It's crazy. It's cool.
Yep.
The biggest thing I hear myself saying is, man, I wish I had a cool phone back then.
Right.
You know what I mean? And sometimes maybe we didn't. Maybe we just didn't. Cancel culture would have been arriving a little early.
Yeah, right. That would have been.
Yes, yes, yes.
I know I'm a little bit older quite a bit older, I think, than both of y'all. And I can imagine having a phone sometime in my teenage years. No, that would have been bad.
What was it? That show on Hulu, Future Man. I got to finish the next season, but he had accidentally left his iPhone back in the past or whatever. That like someone else got a hold of the iPhone technology before it was supposed to come out and fucked it up. They came out like I forget if it was like in the 80s or something. It was like 20 or 30 years before or something. I don't know. It's like, who knows? I like those time travel screw up shows. Those are always fun.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I have a page on Facebook for Lilith. That's just called Lilith, a J. Crimson film. I have one titled Green Hell, a J. Crimson film, just Facebook pages devoted to those films. I have one called Crimson Videos, which is kind of promoting all of them. I have one for the Crimson Cult podcast, one for Chemical Valley Mutants, my punk band, and we're probably going to be getting ready to record after we write enough songs for a record, and then we'll play out for it. We haven't played any shows yet, and I'm excited for that. I've always been a hardcore punk guy. Well, there's, let's see, No Class Assassins. I already say that. No Class Assassins page, of course, which is at 11.2K followers right now. That's probably the one that's done the most progress, but it's been around since 2009, so there's that too, or at least 2010.
I'll have to share the video on that page once I'm done. I'll have to join that page, so that way we'll
Right.
get that out.
I play drums in a band called the Candle Burners. I mentioned that we have a Facebook page and an Instagram page, and that's about it. Definitely looking forward to people seeing Lilith and me being done with Lilith, because it's going to be something. It's going to be different.
It sounds good, so yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye on that.
It's going to be different than anything people have seen, really. It's a dirty movie. It's a dirty movie in every aspect, but it's a visually entertaining, trippy, psychedelic horror film.
So,
Nice.
yeah. And you said you'll probably do that at like some convention, film festival, or something once it's done.
I definitely have aspirations to do some screenings and build it up a little bit and do it the right way instead of just throwing it out somewhere right away. I have a GoFundMe right now too, that's out there for wrapping up this movie, wrapping up a little bit of the editing stuff, and just so I can get some promotion prepared for it. It's just $500. $500 I think would help get me everything I need to get the promotion aspect of this movie once it's done on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Well, I have your Instagram. I have your regular Facebook. I'm assuming they can find all their groups on there because that'll probably take me forever to add them all in the chat. And then I got your TikTok. And like I said, I also got your YouTube. That was been posted twice. So all those links are in the chat. So we got all those for you.
The GoFundMe for Lilith is on my personal Facebook page.
Okay, so they can find that through that as well. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep.
No problem. It was fun talking.
Yes, it was.
For
So
sure.
once that comes out, you're always welcome back later on and keep us updated and whatever's
I would
going
like
on.
that.
So,
I would like
or
that.
your albums or whatever, any project you want to talk about, So,
Awesome.
yeah, I got to get up early for work tomorrow. So it's, let's say 2 hours and 11 minutes. Awesome show. Thanks for everyone who's stuck around and future viewers that are watching it after and Spotify, whatever. So, all right. Well, we appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Have a good night.
You too.
Later.
See ya. Bye.
Later.
And I'm going to go ahead and leave too. All right. I'm going to end the broadcast. Bye.
See you, Steve.